Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Sunday, the 26th of February. But first, a quick recap on Saturday's performance. Well, Saturday was a bit in and out, really. Obviously, the football let us down. The first half, we'd got a cracking chance. I actually saw on the cash out, on the £6 stake on the over 2.5 goals, it was offering a cash out at £14. So obviously, we'd had a really good start. And then, unfortunately, none of the teams, apart from Mansfield and Salford, the other two matches never turned out for the second half, basically. There was no goals at all in those matches in the second half, which is very rare. So, the horse racing, well, we had a few that ran well and ran exactly how I thought they would do, but the principals didn't quite underperform. I think it was Bowden Bell. I think it was 66ers. It came there, like, travelling really well, but unfortunately, one of the horses that pulled really hard just didn't weaken. And what actually happened was all three fancied horses, none of them ran under par. They all ran to form. So if one of them did, I'm very confident that a Bowden Bell at 40s or 66s, I'm not sure which price it was, could have stuck a praise. So it could have been a very different day. I think it could have been a profitable day that day because I do believe we staked £38 and had £22 returned, which it seemed like a non-event for the best part of the day. We had the odd one that ran well. The Uwin? I've got that completely wrong. Or Rathnor Uwin. And then we had the very last horse of the day, which came second. Was it called Back Home, I think? Something like that. That came second at 25s. Rathnor Uwin came fifth at, well, there were all kinds of prices. I think you could have got 20s at one point. I know it touched, I think it was 11s or 12s, but I think it returned maybe 16s in the end. So there were some nice little, like, horses that ran okay. Oh, and then we had the Lingfield placed horse. So, yeah, a bit in and out, but it was a losing day, so that's unfortunate, really. So let's get into Sunday's bet. So the first bet is a win bet, and the second bet is an each way bet. So it's a £20 total stake for the day. So the reason I'm showing you on this word pad is because I've actually staked it wrong on my own computer. I've actually backed it each way by mistake when one of the bets is win only. So I'm surprised it even let me place the bet. So that's what you get when placing bets half asleep. So let's get into it. So I've picked two selections in the 130 at Fontwell. They are both the outsiders. Don't get me wrong, the two outsiders, the form seems to have dropped off. They've never really took to chase fences. However, the joint favourites in the race, don't get me wrong, they are running quite well, but they are weighted right up to their best so far. So they must improve again. And I think if a little bit of like improvement from the two outsiders could see them challenge the two fancied horses. And I think it's a very interesting race. So let's get into it. So in the 130 at Fontwell, I've gone for Quinto Dumar and Name in Lights. I've also had singles on them. So put them in your bet and I shall talk through it in a second. So then go to the 230 at Fontwell and add Goshen to your bet slip. Now what you need to do is scroll down to the individual horses and place a £2 win on Quinto Dumar, £1.50 on Naming Lights, and £2.75 win on Goshen. If any of those horses wins, it should pay for the bet. So basically it's a blank day. But obviously you want the other horse, Goshen, to come in. So yeah, any of those horses at the current prices, if I'm getting confused now. If any of the horses win, or either horse wins in the 130, it pays for the bet. Then we're just hoping that Goshen wins. So then you also want to include them at the same time in £2 doubles. So if, as I say, if either of the first two horses wins, it then puts us a very nice bet going on to Goshen. So here are now the each way selections. So the second bet are each way singles, doubles, that's each way doubles, and each way trebles. So we've gone for singles again. So in the 2 o'clock at Fontwell, Oscarsman. In the 3 o'clock at Fontwell, Invincible Neo. And in the 4:20 at Hereford, State of Honour. Oscarsman is, I don't know if it's first time or second time over the big obstacles. In my opinion, it's bred for those. I'm not saying it's going to jump perfect, but I do think there are a lot of question marks over the fancied horses. Invincible Neo what it's shown so far is that it doesn't want this step up in distance. But I think this is a dreadful race. And what I do think is it could go tearing off. Well, the favourite normally leads, so that could upset that horse straight away, the favourite, by not leading. So that could possibly sulk. This horse is trained by Gary Moore. Well, he's got another one in the race, and it obviously looks as though this horse has been put in there to set the race up for the other one. But I think they could all forget about this horse, and it could go tearing off. You know how you see him when the 20-length lead, and then it's whittled down, and it actually holds on, or it could hold on for a place. So it's a very interesting horse. It's a poor race, and Gary Moore won the race last year, but unfortunately he's put 2 in this year, which makes it that little bit harder. And in the 420 at Hereford, State of Honour. This horse is bred to want this distance at least. Well, it's never ran over this distance. It's ran over shorter, being held up on tighter tracks or speed favouring tracks. So most of the races ran so far, the trip and the track haven't suited it. Well, the track isn't going to suit it massively at Hereford, but this step up to 2 mile 5.5 definitely is, and it's an awful race. And I've actually taken the price on this. I don't know what price it is currently, but it was 6-1 when I put my bet on. If this horse was really fancied, it is a gambling stable, so it might be worth taking the price if you're happy with the price. And I'm going to leave it at that really. So I've had £1 each way on all those selections, 50p each way doubles, and 50p each way trebles. And as I said, it's total stake £10 for that bet, and a full stake for £20 for the day. So that's the horse racing tips for Sunday, the 26th of February by Charlie Winters. I shall hopefully see you Sunday evening, ready for Monday. I don't know what the race is like. I haven't looked yet. I'm going to have pretty much well, it's not nearly a day off. I'm going to have a good few hours off now, 8-10 hours off without even looking. I will look at the races, so as they happen today. For today's racing. So I'm going to try and have a bit of a break until racing gets underway. So, the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.